All right. Hi, everybody. I'm glad everyone is on that's on right now. Sorry for some glitches in the the passcode situation, but it looks like we've got some people set up ready to rock and roll. I want to just say thank you for jumping on here and spending time with us. Time, I know, is the greatest gift you can give because it's something you can't get back. So you being here, spending time with us, really, truly means a lot to us. There we go. So just a couple housekeeping things. I want to kind of tell you a little bit about what's going to be happening tonight. So Amy and I are going to be sharing our story with you. Hopefully you find it inspiring and inspirational and all those incredible things. But we also want to open it after we share our stories to any questions. And I'm very much like an unfiltered, like I call this open mic night, where we want you guys to come with your questions. We want to help you see what is here, and we're going to answer all of your questions. Okay. So for the time being, while we're sharing our stories, just to keep the distraction down, please make sure you stay muted. There is a chat box. So go ahead and utilize the chat box if you're like me and you have squirrel mom brain and you're like, I'm going to forget my question if I don't pop it in now. Go ahead and type it in the chat. That's totally fine. And we will get to all the questions afterwards. And then, after we're done chatting too, you're welcome to unmute yourself and we have conversation back and forth too. So, with that, I'd love for you guys pop in the chat where you're tuning in from, because this is a cool thing where we're kind of stretching coasts. I'm in Oregon, Amy's in Georgia. So we're like East Coast, West Coast situation. So go ahead and tell us where you're at. Cause it'll be fun to see like where probably a lot of Georgia. I feel like that's going to be a lot right now, which is fine. I was in Georgia a couple days ago at the airport. So does that count?
Well, I think everyone flies through Atlanta on their way anywhere. You have to go through
I
Atlanta
think
if
it
you're
was my
going
first time
anywhere.
actually being at Atlanta Airport.
Oh my gosh, well, good for you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little bit about me. My name is Michelle Rose. I am an Emerald with Plexus. I want to tell a little bit of my health story. What brought me to Plexus is my health story, and where it's taken me in that time. So I am, you guys are going to be like blown away when you start hearing, like when you hear Amy and my eyes and compare, because we're basically the same person. But for me, I am that like, don't judge a book by its cover story, where from the outside looking in, picture perfect health and wellness. That's been my life. I've been an athlete my entire life. I have always been very into health, fitness, wellness, all of that kind of stuff. However, I was like silently dying inside is the best way to put it. I've struggled with health issues my whole life. From when I was like in elementary school, I was having migraines, ear infections. The thing that really kind of ruined my life, to be honest with you, was my cystic acne. When I hit puberty, I got cystic acne, and I hear people all the time like, I have cystic acne. You can't claim you have cystic acne. This is my thing, until your eyes are almost swollen shut because your breakouts are so big. That's how bad mine was. And if middle school isn't bad enough, try living with that. So I was desperate for something, because nobody wants to experience that. And so they put me on antibiotics to, cure my acne situation. Also topical cream that literally bleached my face, bleached everything. It was bleach, let's be real. And so a few years after the antibiotic thing started, I was taking them every day, you guys. I started experiencing very scary digestion issues. And at 15, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune digestion disorder. I just heard the word, this is what you have, and it wasn't cancer. And then the rest was blah, 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 blah. I had no idea what they were talking about. All I knew was I didn't have cancer. And that was my praise Jesus. I don't have cancer. I'm still alive. And so I didn't quite realize that this was going to lead to literally a lifelong battle of my health. And since I didn't quite know anything about gut health or all the things, I just kept getting sicker and sicker as the years went on. And things like I had horrible allergies, my asthma like literally dropped me to the ground. I was incredibly sick. insomnia. I struggled with sleep. I was chronically tired. I was always getting sick. I had viral infections that would last months. I got pneumonia for 2 months when I was right out of college. And you guys, I was working out. I was a collegiate athlete. I was working out all the time. I was eating. I'm like the kid that walks around eating carrot sticks. I was drinking a water. I was sleeping 8+ hours a day. I try and keep my stress low, trying, it's life. It's hard to do. But I was just miserable. And I hit my rock bottom after I had my firstborn. I I literally lived on the couch. I can tell you today, my daughter is 7.5. What we watch from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day, because I did not leave the couch except the couple days a week that I was going into work. I just couldn't. And so it's funny because I literally would cry myself to sleep nights on end. That's not really funny. But I was praying constantly for answers. And I've always had this gut feeling that there was a reason for all these things and why it just kept getting worse. And I kept going to the doctor and they just kept giving medications and they're like, your blood works great. You're so healthy. I don't feel healthy. This doesn't add up, right? So like I feel like the gates opened and God like shone down and like the angels were singing when I learned about gut health. And I'm not even kidding you guys. Like I for the first time was like, I have hope again. Like this is it. Like I learned about it and I was like, that is why all of this is going on. And so I was all in. I jumped in and I was like, what do I need? How do I heal? All of the things. And for the first time in my life, I started to feel better, to be honest with you. And it wasn't because I was taking a medication. I actually was like done with medications. I was on 10 at one point in time. I just pushed them all away and I said, we're doing this all natural. I'm in. And this wasn't like a overnight, I'm better. I'm 7 years in as of next month, and I'm still healing. But I continue to heal. And that's what's great. I continue to feel better. And just when I don't think I can feel better, I feel better. Okay. So this is the don't throw the towel in. But part of this too was I got married, we had a baby, we got pregnant literally like right away. My daughter was born on our 9-month anniversary. It happened real fast. And we got married, we got pregnant, and all of a sudden we're like, we can't we are living paycheck to no, credit card bill to credit card bill. We couldn't even afford all of our bills off of what we were making every month. And when you get in that place, it's a vicious cycle and it's really hard to get out of. So we just kept living off the credit cards and living off the credit cards. And that is not me. I have never been in debt until this part of my this season of life started. And I saw this opportunity to go from credit card bill to credit card bill to going from paycheck to paycheck. I'm not kidding you. That's where I was at. Like, if I can cover our groceries, that might do something for us. So I started there. And then after I got there, I was like, what if I could pay our mortgage? And then you guys, I stopped loving my job. I was a personal trainer. This is me. Amy and I are twins, guys. I was a personal trainer. I had my own business. I loved what I did until I didn't, until I became a mom. And I was like, I want to be home with my babies. And I saw this as if I can pay our mortgage payment, I might be able to walk away from this job. So that's what I did. So I just like built this thing through all the stages of my life and then I had another baby. And so then it was like, like it worked through of like, I left this business, but then I had another baby and then I started coaching. Amy and I are the same person. Once again, you guys. And then you guys, COVID happened and I lost my coaching job. I was like, I'm all in with Plexus. What can I do? And I will tell you, when I decided to go all in, I dove into the community. I dove into self-development. I dove into investing in myself and my business. And in a year, I tripled my income. I became a top earner in Plexus, 6-figure earner. I drive this super cute Lexus, these awesome, amazing trips. And next month, my husband is walking away from his job, his career. because of I said yes. Yes, I know. I'm so excited. Um, this has given us so much. And I have to tell you, what it has given me the most out of anything is a sense of purpose and community. I've realized this isn't about me. Making the money is great. Having the freedom is great, but I do this for you. Because I've been hopeless. I know what it's like, and I don't want anyone else to sit there hopeless, miserable, struggling with their health, struggling to pay their bills. Like none of us should be sitting there. None of us deserve that life. And so I do what I do for people like you to have what I have. And with that, I also have always struggled with my self-image, my self-confidence, and finding a place where I truly fit in and have community and support and love and acceptance. And this is the most beautiful community I've ever found in my life. Like, I call it my family. I will tell you, like, my team knows that, like, I tell them they're my family all the time. I have built this family. I have created the family. I get to invite people into my family every day. And when I talk to people, I'm like, you better say thank you, Michelle, because I invited you into my family. Like, what a blessing is that? It's so cool that we get to create what we want here. And so, like, I want your biggest takeaway from your time that you're spending with us tonight, that we have exactly what everyone is looking for: health, hope, happiness, community, support, love. That's what we have here. And that's why I love what I do so much. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Amy, and you can hear that we're the same person all over again.
So you almost made me cry, Michelle. So sweet, because I feel it all your words. I feel them because we
We're the
are the
same
same person. I was gonna tell my story, but Michelle just told it. So I really can sum it up because our stories are so similar. I um I struggled with my stomach from a very young age. It started in middle school. It may have started before then, but I just don't remember much before middle school. But I do know before middle school, I was on antibiotics probably 3 to 5 times a year. Like I always got strep throat. Anytime I was sick, my mom was like, "You've got strep." We'd go to the doctor, and sure enough, it was strep. And if it wasn't strep, the doctor would be like, "Well, I'm just going to prescribe anyway, just to cover all our bases." Like I was so used to taking antibiotics. So I know that did a number on my stomach, and that's why I started struggling in middle school. And go figure, in high school, I stopped sleeping. Like people always think that's like a menopause thing. Like I started having sleep issues in high school and was addicted to Tylenol PM in high school. My mom would find me with the bottle, be like, "No, no, no." And sure enough, when I went to college, I was like, "Oh, she's not here. Oh, yeah." So it was bad. Like I could not sleep. My stomach was very bad. I'll sum that up in the fact that I always needed to know where the nearest bathroom was all the time. So I when I won't get into any more. That would be TMI. So I tried several medications for that problem. Irritable bowel syndrome, technically, is what they told me I had. None of them worked. Our pediatrician was pretty advanced, for a doctor. She liked probiotics, as even 15 years ago. She would have my kids go on a probiotic when they were taking an antibiotic, which that was like ahead of the times. I love our pediatrician. And so therefore I started to try different probiotics. None of them did anything for me, for my issue. So I kind of wrote them off. So when my friend told me about Plexus Probio 5 and that it would help me, it was so easy for me to say no because they didn't help me. Why would your multi-level marketing probiotic help me? Like, I'm sorry, so sweet of you to offer, but no, thank you. But she did not give up, and I thank God for that every day. Anytime she'd help someone with tummy troubles or sleep issues, she would tell me. So she's sleeping now, Amy. She doesn't have this issue anymore. Are you sure you don't want to try it? And I'd be like, I'm sure. no, thank you. So finally, she gave me a bottle, which was the biggest blessing in the world. And I actually took it because it was free, because I am super frugal. And we had just had our fourth child. No room in the budget for a fancy probiotic, that's for sure. My husband was super excited it was free. So I took it. And when I do something, I go all in. So I was very diligent every night taking it. At the end of the 30 days, I could not remember my last bad day with my stomach, which were usually every day. And I was thinking back, oh my gosh, wow, when was my last bad day? And I could not remember. I was like, holy crap, this is working. I need to continue this stuff. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is not in the budget. Like, I can't do this, but I need this. And I talked to my husband about it, and he was like, yeah, you should probably continue. Like, I can notice a change in you. You have a lot less gas. I'll just come right out and say it. Like, it was noticeable. He noticed I had more energy too. I was already starting to sleep, which was amazing. So I started on the triplex that next month. But before I started on the triplex, I told everybody I cared about and wanted on ProBio 5, or I knew they had tummy troubles too. Like, it was pretty easy for me to think of people, oh my gosh, she needs it, he needs it, she needs it, she needs it. And so Sarah helped me get a link, and I started selling ProBio 5, and my triplex was covered before I even ordered my first triplex, which is totally unique and weird, but that's how I rolled, apparently. And everybody loved it. So they all started on the triplex. Obviously, they wanted their loved ones on the triplex too. So there you go. I have this business, which is what I actually didn't want because I was overwhelmed with my personal training. Like Michelle said, we are twins. But I kept training and just grew my plexus business on the side. And then once my plexus business kept growing and growing and growing, and I got to a point where I'm like, holy cow, I don't need to train on the weekends anymore. I don't need to train in the evenings anymore. I can be with my family. That is what I want. Like, I missed so much, and it like does kind of tear me up. With my first two kids, I missed so much because I was in the basement. I trained in the basement. And dinner time, bath time, I was in the basement. And sports practices, I was in the basement. Now with these next two kids, I'm here, I'm with them. I just train my very favorite clients. I have four of them, and I love them very much. And I don't have to train them for the money. I train them because I want to train them and I love them. And the whole coaching thing I'm doing now, I'm coaching at the high school. I would not have been able to do that without my plexus income. Because let's be real here. High school coaches don't make anything. It's volunteer. I would if I was just training, I would need to be training then. I wouldn't be able to be coaching. I'd have to be making money training. But no, Plexus makes me money, so I can coach. Hopefully you guys followed that. But anyways, I have been doing this for 7 years, exactly the same amount of time as Michelle. I did not grow here. I didn't grow my business very big until I got over my fear. One day I got over my fear, and it was like black and white. And I mean, my upline Amy Welsh kept telling me, draw your line in the sand, just do it, draw your line. And I'd be like, yeah, I drew my line, yeah, I drew my line. But I didn't really draw my line. I thought I was drawing my line. Guys, when you let go of the fear, it is the most freeing thing you will ever do. And it's not just about this business. It affects your whole entire life. And but when you let go of the fear of what other people think of you, and what other people think of you sharing these products, or just fear in general, that's when you really can help people. And I've been able to help so many more people with the products. I've been able to help so many more people with the business. If I was still sitting there in fear and worried about what people thought of me or thought of the business, then I wouldn't have helped them. So whenever I have a day where I'm doubting what I do, or if somebody says something mean for some reason, I pull up my back office, I look at all the names, and I start saying to myself, well, I helped her with her migraines. I helped her with her um, ulcerative colitis. I helped him lose weight. Like I go through and think of pointing out all the health wins. That's why I do this. And the income's pretty darn nice too. But that is my story in a quick nutshell. Should we open this up for questions?
Yeah, I love that was my story also in a quick nutshell.
Yeah. Yep.
uh
Yeah. Yeah, Nicole said, and Nicole's my sister-in-law. She said in the chat, if she didn't have plexus, she would have had to go back to work. And instead she can be a stay-at-home mom. And I remember when you got married to my brother, and she was so concerned about having to work.
mhm.
And when I did find plexus and started sharing, I'm realizing, oh wow, I can make money doing this. And then I thought, oh, Nicole can make money doing this. But I still had so much fear. I didn't tell her she could make money doing this. Silly me, let her figure it out on her own, right, Nicole? But she figured it out pretty quick. So she was my first silver, my first gold, my first senior gold, my first. She's my
She's your runner.
my runner and my lead leg, and we are just blessed to be able to work together and make these awesome plexus incomes and help all these people.
Most people didn't want anything to do with it at the beginning. It's very normal.
Yeah.
But I think it's time to change that. It shouldn't be the normal. We have
No.
something that's so incredible. Why wouldn't we want to tell people about it?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Share the heck out of it.
Does anybody have any questions for us? You're welcome to unmute. We like seeing faces too. Bring the wellness community.
Yeah, the community is awesome too. But what you mentioned, Michelle, like
Mhm.
I love how you call it your family. Whenever anybody joins our team, I always say, welcome to our Plexus family.
Yeah, that's
It
what it
is.
is. We have a family here, and it's like the most beautiful family I've ever seen. I love
Mm-hmm.
my family, but I'm stuck with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Jamie, did you have any questions or anything you wanted to say? No. Okay. All right. Well, if nobody has questions, we can let you guys go.
Yeah, sounds good. If you guys think of a question or want to send it to us privately, just get with the person that invited you and then they can connect us. And we're
Yeah,
happy to
we're open
answer
books around here.
anything. Yep, totally.
Thank you both.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for getting on. We really appreciate you guys spending time here. Sorry about our little glitch, but we all made it, right?
Yeah, we made it.
All
All
right.
right.